Hello and welcome to Williams Return to Glory. In this episode, we are going to Monza in Sochi. I have already run Monza, but my OBS decided to change my mic input, so I did not have audio, so that was fantastic. Alright, looking at our pit crew, we're just going to do some rotation here, potentially hire some people. Alright, so from the mail screen, we have stuff about Zandvoort, Leclerc, we got Sainz winning qualifying, car condition, and then we got an interview with Jensen Button. Diego Porcher has claimed that your engine seems to be holding the team back, so we're going to tell him, we're going to tell Jensen Button that he needs to button it. Alright, so from the mail screen, we have a little bit of a bribe here. From Ferrari, we will get $500,000 if we vote in favor. So I think we're just going to take it because it's low profile tires. The changes are they aren't the fastest tire around, but they're the second cheapest. So let's just take it. All right, so from the sponsor screen, this is the reason why we put Porsche in the car for last weekend, and I also think we're going to leave him in for another race. This is the best sponsor, Bombardier. We can't hit the first place here to make this worth it, and this just pays a little bit less just with the upfront payment, so we're going to go with Bombardier. And then slot 6, this is where things get spicy. We're not taking Rich Energy. We have Martini and Honda. Martini, the only thing is if we sign Martini, it doesn't really change anything with how we should approach this career mode, but if we sign Honda, we have to take into account, that when we're making all our supplier deals for next year. So Martini, 69 races, but they only pay 12 and a half. That equals out to under what we would see for Honda, and we're not at the position to where we can make third or above, especially with how long this deal is. So we will sign Honda for at least a season in a bit. Alright, so getting ready for Monza, we're going to put Ponos on the car. We're going to go with the 15-10-10 for tire selection. And we added the new front wing to Teo Porcher, but we're going to move on to the Italian Grand Prix. Alright, so getting ready for practice. Porcher is going to be in this race. So we're going to put Albon in the car because we're going to plan to have him back next week. Car setup wise, we're going to do the medium tire just because I know we're going to have enough time to focus on 2 sets of tires. So we're going to focus on the medium and the soft compounded tire. Alright, so following practice from Imola, we have Albon 9th, Vettel 7th, and then top of the board is Charles Leclerc. Alright, so getting ready for qualifying, we're only able to get qualifying trim level 3. Vettel's setup was very close. Porsche's setup was not, so we're going to head out for 3 laps. Alright, so Porcher starts his lap, and so does Vettel. They're both perfect and good on their temperatures. Hopefully their setups are good to go. Alright, so Porcher is going to start his second lap. Vettel starts his. Porcher is up. He is 15th at the moment. We're going to see where he crosses the line. He is still 15th. Vettel stays 8th. Alright, so Porcher comes around the final corner. He goes good and perfect. Vettel goes overheated and perfect. Alright, they're both up first sector, both up second sector. Porcher goes 15th and Vettel stays 8th. Alright, so on the grid for the Italian Grand Prix, we're going to go with level 3 medium tires and level 3 race trim. It's a 41 lap race, so we're going to need to make these tires last about 20 laps, and I think that's fine. I think we can do that. Setup wise, we're looking at about 99% and 98%, and this is going to be our driver strategy. We're going to get the tire temperatures up, and then just go on a neutral. Anyways, we're going to move on to the starting grid. Alright, so your starting grid at Monza is Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton, Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel, Robert Schwartzman, George Russell, Dennis Hauger, Yuki Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Theo Pourchaire, Guan Yu Zhou, Daniel Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, and Lance Stroll. Alright, so here are the 5 red lights. We only got 3 people on the soft compound of tire. Go see what Vettel can do here. Hopefully he doesn't drop back. We had somebody go wide. It was one of the McLarens. It was Gasly. Alright, so it looks like we're going to get about 2 laps of push out of these tires before we're going to switch over to neutral. Alright, now we're going to switch over to neutral on both cars. And we're going to hold the medium engine mode, or the push engine mode, up until we hit about 0.7. We got Robert Schwartzman behind us, who's doing a really, really good job this year. Started his last F1 race last episode, and yeah, he's just been outperforming his teammates, so if he could finish in the points, that'd be good for him. Looks like we can kind of get a little bit aggressive with these tires. We can push and then drop back onto neutral, get some wear out of these early, and then hopefully just have enough at the end here. We only need to make these last about 20 laps or so, so we should be able to just kind of do that persistent back and forth. Okay, we're at 0.71, and at 0.75, we are going to just put them on back onto medium. Gonna let them push. Just going to see what they're going to do here. Yeah, Schwartzman behind is running about similar tire wear. Seems like he is a little bit faster. Alright, so got Russell behind us now. Oh, Russell's behind us. That's interesting. So Russell having a hard time getting past a Alfa Romeo and a Williams. Alright, Schwartzman gets by us into 6th place as Norris in front of us pits. These tires are not as pacey as the other tires, so hopefully we're able to just kind of do that really easy one stop here. Alright, we're no longer pushing these tires, so hopefully we're able to get that into that window, and it looks like we're cutting it a lot closer than I thought we were. Maybe we took a little bit too much life out of them early. Alright, we're going to keep Vettel out for another lap here. We're just going to see how much he's down. Okay, he's still down a little bit here. His pace isn't terrible. We're going to pit both cars next time by. Alright, we're going to pit Vettel this time onto a new set of medium tires. And then we're going to pit Pourchaire onto the same strategy. Alright, we get 2 clean pit stops there. We're going to have Ocon pitting ahead of us. We're going to hold neutral here, at least for a little bit. Let these tires naturally cool off, and then we can go on to push just for a little bit. Alright, we're going to have both drivers push. We're just going to push them until about halfway on the tire temperature. We're not going to overdo it. We'll save that for later in the race. We see Alonso pits. He's going to be behind us. We've already made our last stop, so we're looking pretty good here. Alright, Gasly should be pitting soon, and Gasly comes out behind us. Alright, we're going to go on to neutral the tires again, just to kind of keep that wear down. Alright, it looks like Pourchaire is going to get lapped here. So it looks like we can just start pushing Pourchaire with the engine mode. Looks like Vettel might also get lapped here at some point, so just got to keep an eye on that throughout the rest of the race. Alright, so I am feeling comfortable with 9 laps remaining, just letting these guys push. Alright, Vettel is up to 7th. He is ahead of Gasly. Got Pourchaire in 16th. Doesn't look like anybody in front of him is going to have to pit here, so that's unfortunate to see. Alright, he's getting another blue flag. I'm just going to put them both onto neutral. Yeah, Vettel, I'm worried about Vettel getting overtaken here by Pierre. So we're going to push Vettel until he's about 0.05 down. As long as we finish ahead of Schwartzman at least, I'd consider that a successful day. Alright, looking pretty low here on the tires. We're going to look at Pourchaire here, just watch his race a little bit. So he's in 15th. Ocon drops behind him, but Ocon looks like he should get by him pretty easily here. Coming to 2 to go here. Alright, and we're in a bit of a danger zone here with the tires as Ocon gets ahead of us. Alright, your Schwartzman's about 3 seconds behind, so we got to hold on for just a lap here. Pourchaire in 15th. He's got a decent gap behind, so we're just going to have him conserve. We got Schwartzman right there. Just going to push to get the rest of the fuel out. Now we need to put Pourchaire on low. Just going to focus on Mr. Vettel here. Get him to 0. He's good. Alright, Pourchaire is good. Oh, Pourchaire is already finished. Alright, and Vettel is going to finish 8th. Alright, so looking at the results from Monza, we had Pourchaire finishing 15th behind his fellow Frenchman, Esteban Ocon. Points, we have Russell finishing in the points. We've got Robert Schwartzman getting his first points for Alfa Romeo, so good job for him. We have Vettel up in 8th place, above our sponsor objective. Then we have Gasly, Norris, Hamilton, Perez, your podium, Sainz, Verstappen, your winner, Leclerc. Looking at your Drivers' Championship, we got Robert Schwartzman moving up a bunch of places, getting himself in a 16th with the 2 points that he gained from Monza. We have Pourchaire moving up a spot, I assume on average finish, ahead of Lance Stroll. Vettel is 51 points. He's 6 points behind Gasly currently, which is just crazy. Looking at the top of the board, Max Verstappen moves up to 2nd, but he is 91 points behind. So Leclerc in the Ferrari is doing a really good job of spreading out his gap and just putting himself in a position to win this World Drivers' Championship, unlike real life. Looking at our Constructors' Championship, we have a 9-point advantage over Alpine. You got a bit of a no man's land position for McLaren here, where we can't catch McLaren, but McLaren cannot catch Mercedes. Mercedes are behind Red Bull. Red Bull are so far behind that I don't think, unless Ferrari absolutely bottle the final 7 races, that they're not going to catch them. So, yeah, and then we got Alfa Romeo now with 6 points over Haas, who have 4, and then you have Aston at the bottom with 0, who's doing a good impression of us last year. Alright, so following Monza and us finishing within our sponsor objective, we gain $171,000. Alright, so we've gone through and we've rotated our crew. We hired 1 new person, and that is B. Andrews. Looking at the mail screen, it's about Ferrari. Leclerc denies Verstappen pole. We got an interview with Sky Sports with Natalie Pinkham. After his victory today, what are your thoughts on Leclerc? As always, an exceptional talent, just to make sure that he gets the trait, and he gets the trait to open to discussing terms with us. Alright, so we have another dilemma. This one's from Simone Resta. We have a problem at the factory. We need to pay $500,000 or lose 50% on the reliability. We're gonna just pay the $500,000. Alright, so from the sponsor screen, we have a bit of an interesting development here with one of the sponsors available. Notice that Molly and Velo only pay, 100,000, 500,000, or 50,000. We have AlphaTauri offering a sponsorship deal that lasts 42 races, but they pay $950,000 per race. With Honda on our car, I think that AlphaTauri makes sense, especially with Albon in the team. We have that Red Bull affiliated driver. So I think that we're going to take this, and this is going to influence our decision for next year with our current suppliers next year, and then yeah, maybe even with some driver moves. All right, so from the driver's screen, unfortunately for Porsche, I think him bringing in that new sponsor potentially spells the end for him. At least, with full-time opportunities in our team. So we're going to promote Albon to the main team, and I think Porsche is going to find a seat somewhere else. As I mentioned previously, I said Porsche might find a seat somewhere else, and due to some stuff that happened, there's an unrealistic driver move that I did not like that Alfa Romeo made. I decided, hey, I know a driver who should probably be in an F1 seat, who I just demoted from my team. So if we look over at Alfa Romeo, they have Porsche and Schwartzman, so they have changed their entire driver lineup from the start of the year. Unfortunately for us, that means that we currently lack a reserve driver, and I was thinking, since we have these Red Bull ties, we can go with a Red Bull driver like Liam Lawson. So we're going to try to get Liam Lawson into our team. He's going to be our reserve driver. We're going to just try to get him. Yeah, I think maybe just for the end of the year, that might be good. We'll pay all his stuff. I don't think we're going to have him in the car for the rest of the week. Actually, I'll leave these on. We're going to just offer him this. Hopefully get him in sooner rather than later. And then we'll have him for the rest of the season. Alright, so from the part improvement screen, we have the new front wing in. It's the 1428, 1478 Max. So this goes straight on the car. We're going to work on some performance, but we're going to mainly focus on the reliability. Only thing is that the great wing that we created is, lesser than the good wing. So we're going to just take the great wing off of performance as we're going to build on some better parts in the future. So this is what we're gonna do with our parts improvement for the foreseeable future. All right, so from the part design screen, this is gonna be our legendary front wing that we're gonna build. We're gonna probably build just one more of these, and then that'll be it for our front wing development for the rest of the season. I don't know what it is about this mod, but when I did this, last time, it depends on like what time you load up the save. When it says red zone minus 15, sometimes it takes red zone away and sometimes it adds red zone. So very weird situation, but we're going to build the new front wing. All right, so unfortunately with Lawson, we have not met on the right terms yet, so we're going to adjust the contract. He does not like the pay. What's the highest we can go with the pay? We can go 24,000. We'll just go 11,000. All right, so looking at your Formula 2 standings, we have the event results from Spa-Francorchamps. We have Timo Bernhard winning. We have Mitch Evans second step at the podium. So we have Van Amersfoort 1-2. And then we have Dan Ticktum final step at the podium. Looking through here, we're just going to scroll through the rest of these results. All right, now looking over the championship, Ticktum stretching his lead out just a little bit. We got a three-way tie for third through fifth, and then just a very tight battle throughout the rest of the field. Looking at the Constructors Championship, we have ART on top, we have Prema right behind them, and then we have Van Amersfoort this last race just kind of closing up with their max points day. You got High Tech in fourth. All these guys I'd say are in reach of each other, but ART has got a pretty substantial lead. That's going to be hard to to usurp. And then we got a tight pack here, and then we got a tight pack here, and then we got the Charus and the Campos at the bottom. I realized I forgot to show it after we signed AlphaTauri, but we have AlphaTauri on the front wing here, so right on the end of our little winglets. Speaking of AlphaTauri, from our sponsor select screen, you see we have Pono selected, how we usually do, and look, we have green here. We got no red, so we're going to guarantee that we're going to make money out of this race. Tire selection is going to be 15, 10, 10. Going through the parts, I just went through and I added some stuff to Albon's car just to give him a better chance. He's got the better engine, but pretty much any part that's got a super big swing in performance, like the rear wing and the brakes, have gone on to Vettel's car. So, yeah, we're giving Albon a shot, but we're not giving him all the best stuff yet. So we are just trying to split it down the middle the best we can. And when we get the better parts for the rear wing and the suspension, we should be able to be a little bit more even Steven with our cars. But anyways, we're going to move on to Sochi. Alright, so getting ready for practice. No reserve driver, as mentioned before. Hopefully we can get Liam Lawson in. Next episode, looking at the car setup, we're going to focus on the soft tire, and yeah, we're going to skip through practice. Alright, so following Sochi practice, we have Albon 11th, Vettel 9th, and we have Charles Leclerc on top of the board. Alright, so heading into qualifying, we have qualifying trim level 3. We did not get the super soft tire worked on at all. We focus on we have sweeter spots for Albon. We do not have anything of use for Vettel. We're going to be working on some setup stuff, so we're going to send them out multiple times, hopefully to get some extra laps in and hopefully get a perfect setup. But anyways, we're going to move on to qualifying. Alright, so Albon comes out of the final corner. He goes good, perfect. Vettel goes perfect, perfect. We're going to see where they end up. It's almost down 1.7 seconds. And there's about a 4/10 difference between the two of them. Alright, Albon comes out of the final corner, goes good, great. Vettel goes overheated and perfect. We get passed by, that looks like one of the Alpines. We pass one of the Alpines. Albon goes 15th, Vettel goes up to 9th. Looks like we're going to be back in time to send them right back out for another lap. Alright, Albon comes out of the final corner, goes overheated and great. Let's see what they can do on these final laps. Albon is down, so is Vettel. Alright, they're both up middle sector, and Albon stays 15th and Vettel stays 10th. Alright, so getting ready for Sochi, we're going with a split strategy. We're going to put Albon on the mediums, we're going to put Vettel on the softs. I have confidence on the mediums, but I have a feeling that the softs might be the preferred ones. We did, I think, a 99.99 on the setups, so we did a good job there. This is going to be our strategy for the first bit of the race. We're going to push till about 0.75 on the fuel, and we're actually going to be able to kind of be aggressive with our tires throughout the run. So anyways, we're going to move on to the starting grid. Alright, so your starting grid is Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, Pierre Gasly, George Russell, Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel, Dennis Hauger, Esteban Ocon, Robert Schwartzman, Theo Pourchaire, Alex Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, Kevin Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher, and Lance Stroll. Alright, so here are your 5 red lights. It seems like a pretty mixed strategy throughout the field, just not the front runners. Just what you typically see. Alright, Vettel's all the way down to 11th at the start. We're going to keep an eye on Vettel's temperatures the most at first. Alright, we're going to put him on to push. Straight out the gate, we're going to let Albon keep going on attack for a little bit. Alright, we're going to put Albon onto neutral. We're just going to keep his tires underneath of him here for a little bit. Alright, we're 12th and 14th, so at least we're in the pack. Alright, Vettel, we're going to put him down to neutral. I'll leave him on high on the engine mode. We're going to let these tires cool. Albon's tires are cooling pretty tremendously. Looks like we're going to have to be pushing for most of the race for Albon. We're just going to let him keep the tire temperatures go down and down and down until they're cold. Vettels are holding a little bit better at the soft tire. We're going to, like I said, push to a 0.75, and I think that's going to be the point. Actually, it can't be the point for Albon. We're going to have to put Albon on to push right now. Alright, we're going to wait till 0.75 to put Vettel on to push, because these tires are cooling off very, very quickly. Alright, we're just about to hit 0.75. And, alright, we're going to put Albon on medium. We're going to put Vettel on medium, but we're going to put him on push medium. So we're going to keep an eye on Vettel here. Vettel's in 11th place. He's behind Schwartzman and Alonso, who are our real competition here, and Hauger gets by him too. Alright, we're going to have a couple cars in front of us that are going to have to pit here. I don't think Albon Vettel is going to make it till to a one-stop strategy here. Looks like it's going to be pretty difficult for him to maintain. So it looks like our goal here with Albon is just to stretch it to lap 20 and then pit and then just go straight back out on the hard compound or medium compound. So it looks like Vettel here, we're going to come in at about lap 17. Yeah, lap 17 or lap 18, we're going to come in with Vettel. I think we're going to go 18 at least the first time by, just to pit on a new set of soft tires. I need to put Albon onto neutral. Alright, so Vettel is looking very close on the tires. We are going to put him onto a new set of soft tires. He's going to come out of the box on neutrals. And we're going to wait until lap 21 to pit Albon. Alright, so Vettel comes out right behind Albon. We're going to let his tires cool. We're going to wait until lap 21 to tell Albon to box. Alright, so this is lap 20. Alright, Vettel is by Albon. Vettel needs to start pushing his tires. They're getting too cold. Alright, so they're starting lap 21. We are going to attack and we're going to box Albon onto a new set of mediums that he's going to bring to the end of the race. That's the voice crack. Yeah, Vettel is going to be pushing, and then we're going to put him onto another set of soft tires. Alright, so we need to put him onto neutral. Wait till he comes out of the box and gets cold on the tire compound, and then we're going to put him on to push, him being Albon. So he's all the way down into 19th place. Looks like we're just going to have a slow weekend here. This might be where we break the point streak for Vettel, potentially. Hopefully not. Looks like Alonso ahead of us comes out on a brand new set of tires that he's going to take to the end of the race, so that's not good for us. Trying to keep an eye on Albon here in 19th place. Alright, now's the time to put him on to push. Alright, we get Vettel up into 11th place. He gets ahead of Ricciardo, who I don't think Ricciardo has pitted this entire race. Ricciardo pits. Does he come out behind? No, he does not come out behind Albon, so that is very unfortunate. Okay, we're going to go on to neutral now with Vettel. We're going to keep Albon on push. Alright, we're going to put Albon actually onto neutral, and we're going to let him get cold on the tires again. I just want to make sure that he can make it to the end of the race. Alright, we're going to put Albon back on the push. Looks like everyone has pitted except for Schwartzman. Albon gets lapped. We're going to put him on high. Engine mode is, I would say Vettel's at a risk of getting lapped, which would be interesting, an interesting development for him. Because we have, yeah, we're going to need to pit him too, so we're going to have him push. and we're going to have him pit onto another set of soft tires. Or actually, should we put him on super softs? He's going to come out behind Ricardo. How long can we get super softs to last? It's going to be about 7 laps on these. So we're going to put him on the super soft. Yep. So we're going to pit him onto the super soft, and we're going to have him come out and push straight away. All right. So he's going to go here. Wait to see what these do with the tires. All right. Now it looks like we need to put Albon on low because Albon is just about to get lapped. Nope, he does not need to go on low. He needs to go back onto high. Because he gets the blue flag there. That's Leclerc. Leclerc is good on fuel. All right, so we have about 14 seconds, and we need to catch in about 5 laps for Vettel. I don't think that's going to be super possible. They spin the camera a little bit too much. So we're pushing Albon pretty hard here. We're pushing Vettel. Vettel's going to have quick times, quick pace, all that, but I don't think he's going to have the time to do so. We're going to put him back on a medium, unfortunately. And we're going to keep an eye on Albon here. Albon's going to have pressure behind. 16th place Pourchaire, who moves over to AlphaTauri. I leave him on that. We're actually going to put him on conserve for a couple corners. We're going to make Vettel back up just for a second. And then we're going to have him go on to all-out attack. Alright, Pourchaire, sorry, Albon. Going to be pushing. Actually, we can just have him straight up attack. Just going to try to keep an eye on our fuel here. Go high. Leave it on high. We're going to wait till Vettel is close enough to where we know we can put him onto neutral to finish. We're going to put him on medium. We're going to put him on medium as well. Alright, and it looks like we're going to miss out on the points. Or no, we're going to still have to finish with Vettel. And Vettel doesn't have anybody behind him, so we can just kind of conserve our tires to the end. We have Albon finishing 15th in his return to F1. And we miss out on the points for the first time, I think, in 11 or so races. Alright, so following Sochi, we have Vettel finishing outside the points for the first time, and I can't even remember how many races. I know it's been since Spain, so it's been a long time. Albon finishes 15th. Your points are Alonso, Hauger, Perez, Gasly, Russell, Verstappen, Sainz. Your podium, Hamilton, get Norris on the podium, so good job for him, and Leclerc wins the race. Looking at your driver standings, Albon stays 17th. You got Dennis Hauger moving ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. You have Vettel still in 9th place with Alonso gaining a point on him. We are now 12 points behind Gasly. Norris moves ahead of Perez, which is a hell of an achievement. You've got Lewis moving ahead of Verstappen again. These two have been back and forth, and Leclerc is expanding his lead at the top of the table. Looking at your Constructors' Championship, we have Red Bull still in 2nd place with their gap to Mercedes closing. Very, very big lead that Ferrari has, just with kind of one heavyweight driver and one driver that's kind of pit-pattering around with the other guys. We're still ahead of Alpine by 8 points. AlphaTauri is kind of in between Alpha and Alpine. Just kind of hanging there. We got Alfa Romeo, with 6 points now that Schwartzman scored points, not this past race we did, but the last one. And now they have Pourchaire in the team. Cool to see Pourchaire on the team since we can't use him in our car. So I know it's one of those things where it's not really a realistic, or it's unlikely for someone to jump from one team to another, and definitely one of those impossible things that would happen in Motorsport Manager, but I felt it was fair to Pourchaire. Alright, so leaving Sochi, we gained $724,000. This is a lot nicer to see now that we've got that sponsorship deal. All right, so that's the end of today's episode. We had a decent Monza. Finished the best of the non-top teams. Finished ahead of, I forget who. I think it was one of the McLarens that we finished ahead of, to kind of claim that position, be best of the rest. And then, yeah, second race, just finished outside the points there, breaking Vettel's 10 race point streak. Just go through and show he went from Monaco all the way to Monza, scoring at least a point, which did wonders for our team standings, which is great. First race, we had Porsche in the car. I know the Alfa Romeo move is not something that happens in the game. That's something that I decided to do with the editor. The reason why was because, as I mentioned, uh, all the top teams decide to try to sign old guys from whoever's available in the database. And for some reason, they were trying to sign this one guy, and I kept offering him contracts, so they couldn't sign him, just to kind of prevent the movement after Bottas left. And they still, if I would retract the offer, would sign the exact same person. So it wasn't like I could re-roll it to see who they would sign, who'd be realistic, or should be in F1. It was just somebody who's too old, and I don't believe has enough super license points. But yeah, so I moved Porsche to put him in the seat just to see if it would work and fix the move, since I had no intention to leave Porsche or give Porsche a full-time ride in that seat, at least for this year, especially since we got that AlphaTauri sponsorship. So I decided to move him because I felt like that was a realistic move. If you saw somebody make 3 starts in F1, do not a terrible job, or do pretty similar job that Albon did, they should still be in F1, especially when a seat opens up like the Alfa Romeo seat did. So we moved him over to Alfa Romeo. They put him in instead of Guan Yu Zhou, so that was their decision. And yeah, no, just kind of cool to see these little movements and stuff going on throughout the year. Bottas to Toyota was very cool, and I liked that happened. Just didn't like who they were signing to replace him. But anyways, if you liked today's episode, like, comment, subscribe, all that dumb YouTuber stuff, and I hope you have a good rest of your week.